Hey everybody, it's Lon.TV, and we're taking a look today at the iPad Air keyboard from Logitech. This is their ultra-thin Folio for the new iPad. It is very close to what you would have on a Mac or a PC for keyboard size. The keys are a bit rounded and a little curved. It's a very slight curve to them, so it's just slightly smaller, but I did find that I can type pretty comfortably on there, and I'll show you how that works in a second. The case secures itself with magnets here, so it has a pretty good grip there to keep things put together. And what was interesting was when I received it, I thought I might have been missing a piece because there's nothing really to keep the iPad held up, except when you look a little bit closer, you see there's an actual magnet here. And let me show you how that works. So you slide your iPad into the case, and it is very, very snug. It takes not too much force, but a little bit of force to get it in there. And then when you put it into its typing position, it just locks into place with the magnet here. It uses the same magnet that the iPad smart covers use. So it is really secure. It's actually interesting because it holds up really well. You can really put some pressure on it, and it's not going to come off without a lot of force will get it off. But really, you can type on it and work on it quite a bit. But because it's a magnet, it does bounce a little bit when you're touching the screen. So although you're not typing on the screen when you have the keyboard in front of you, it does tend to bounce a little bit. It doesn't bounce when you're typing, which is good, although the keyboard is a bit curved. The case is a bit curved so by design, so there's a little bit of give on the edges there when you're on a flat surface. On this side, maybe it's on the other side, oh, it's this side, you have the USB charging area here. It comes with a USB cable, so you can plug that into a computer or any USB charger. There's an on-off switch for the keyboard. It pairs up very, very fast, as all of these keyboards do now. And there's also a pairing button, so if you ever switch iPads or go to another device, you have the ability to get that up and running very quickly. So how does it type? Well, we can take a quick look at it here. It may be hard to see the screen. I'm also typing while I'm talking, which is often a difficult thing to do. And it types very well. In fact, I have to say that the keyboard spacing, the key spacing, is really decent on this. And this is the one area I think where a lot of these other iPad keyboards fall short, is that they try to pack in so many keys and they get so close together and so tiny that you're often hitting the wrong key. This one really is forgiving in that there is adequate room between the keys, and I like that a lot about it. This shift key, which is the one I hit the most on the right-hand side of the keyboard, is actually very big, which is good, or at least bigger than most of the keyboards of its class. The one on the left is smaller, though. It's the same size as the other keys. This was kind of an odd thing here where the caps lock key is also the A, and you have this large A key. And this throws me off a little bit because it's also the home row if you go back to the high school typing class. And it just sometimes feels odd for my pinky to have a key this big, but I've been getting used to it. The magnet, as I said, is very strong. It always kind of centers itself in the right spot, and it does hold itself together pretty well. It's pretty strong magnet. You can also fold the iPad down like this, so you have the ability to have it kind of sit in a fully flat mode as well if you wanted to do that. When you want to close the keyboard, you just reverse the action and you have it closed up. If you have the option turned on so that when when your smart cover goes back on, it will also work the same with this, and it'll turn the iPad off or put it in standby mode when you snap it shut. I don't use that mode, but by default it is on like that. So when you secure it, it will turn it off. The magnets here hold okay. I mean, they're not as strong as the magnet would be on the iPad itself, so it might flop open on you a little bit, but not too big of an issue because if usually you're holding it like this. There is a little bit of flexing here, so it will slide a little bit in your hand while you're walking, so you might want to hold it underneath here like a notebook versus on this side. There is a gap between the keys and the screen, and that's what these little the little stands here tend to keep the screen from coming in contact with the keyboard. Kind of hard to see on video here, but I have been kind of compressing it a little bit. It really doesn't touch, the keys don't touch the screen, so you're not going to get any scratching there. I think if you really push on it hard enough, it might, but really this is a pretty hard and protective surface for the iPad. And of course your camera is visible as well. So, and the volume keys are accessible too. So overall, I have to say this is a very good iPad case, especially from the standpoint of typing comfort and accuracy. The key spacing is fantastic, and I think among the best I have seen, and that's why I'm able to type on it, because I've been a touch typer forever, and I really have a very set way of how my keyboards need to feel, and this one comes closest to what I think is the best keyboard for the iPad, which is the Apple Bluetooth keyboard, which unfortunately is not very portable. This certainly is. You get the added benefit of a pretty adequate case. It's not the best case in the world, but it certainly will protect your iPad from the elements that are coming in on the top or the bottom of it. And I think it is comfortable to hold as well. Of course, it will add some weight, so it adds maybe almost a full iPad's worth of weight. It's 0.77 pounds. But it certainly is a price to pay when you want to have a keyboard that you walk around with in addition to your iPad. This is Lon Seidman. Thanks for watching.